Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, Football Therapy with me, your host Jan, and as always, I hope you're doing well, friends. I really do hope that, and I suppose it's Chelsea news, but also a match preview of Chelsea versus 20th place Southampton at home. Oh my god. Imagine, not if we lose, but if we don't win this game. We'll be reacting to this a little bit. I do also want to speak about the statement that Ben Jacobs made on a X/Twitter space that's got Chelsea fans understandably reacting rather radically, maybe a little bit on striker scouting, and then of course we'll build a lineup for the Southampton game at Stamford Bridge, which of course in itself could be a quite fun and interesting exercise because clearly Enzo Maresca is willing to try new things here, and a couple more tweaks, maybe we could look like a more capable team. A capable team that's still 1 point. Lest we forget, gang, 1 point of Champions League qualification going into 2 matches at home against 19th and 20th place, respectively. And, you know, the briefing from the club is, after the international break, Chelsea will have injured players returning. You know, like Lavia, or Fofana, Nico Jackson, really important players to how we play. It's not dead and buried yet, but understandably, it's been a very frustrating time. Lots of very understandably upset and emotional Chelsea fans, including myself. In fact, yesterday I did a video trying to rehumanize myself a little bit with an opening monologue. If you're yet to watch that video, I think, you know, I'd waft you over in that direction. Do consider checking it out. But today we are talking about this stuff. We are talking about the statement made by Ben Jacobs. We are talking about maybe a bit of striker scouting, and then the lineup, and then the ramifications of this must-win game. So thank you for joining me as always. Thank you for so many lovely messages from you guys. Such genuinely, and I don't want to get too soft here, but I had a lovely moment where I realized what an awesome community that I've cultivated here on the channel of, you know, of course, all predominantly Chelsea fans, but indeed football fans at large. Over the last 6 or plus years I've done this, so I'm very grateful for that, and thank you. It's going to be alright. I will stay here and try and get you guys through it. And football's football. We got a game coming up, so let's just talk about that. I also want to thank my sponsor, Stocks FC, for partnering with this video. Stocks FC is an opportunity for you, viewer, to take your mind off the Chelsea woes if you're still just a general football fan. A little bit like Fantasy Premier League, Stocks FC is a really slick platform that gives you the ability to utilize your football knowledge. It's 18 plus because you can put a few quid in, a little bit of your money. You choose to buy players, so you buy low, sell high, just like any other stock market. Yeah, and it is a little bit of fun, and it is a little bit akin to fantasy football. So you can check out Stocks FC by scanning this QR code, which I will leave on the screen, and I'll put a link in the description as well. It's a bit of fun. Why not check it out, yeah? Alrighty then, let me just get up this quote one moment. Alright, so after the Chelsea loss to Aston Villa, which was very disappointing, of course we started quite well, we changed formation, we went ahead, we looked like we might win a game. We looked like we might win a game away at Aston Villa, a team who have only lost 1 game at home all season to a very good Arsenal side at the time, and it looked like it could have been such an important moment. But you know what saved them or showed their class over us is 2 January signings. Of course, poetic because we made no January signings of note that could help us. You know, Marcus Asensio and Marcus Rashford linking up for both goals that will ultimately, you know, sink Chelsea. One of them probably shouldn't have gone in, and our goalkeeper turned into a hologram, Philip Jorgensen. Enzo Maresca has, of course, spoken in his pre-match press conference a little bit about this. He's not going to change goalkeeper. He praised Pedro Neto, but Chelsea fans very upset. X account at ConCFC hosts, I still want to call it Twitter space, I suppose an X space, which many of you will know if you use the platform X. It's like a live radio show, essentially, that you can tune in and people can speak on. And Ben Jacobs, who is a reporter, journalist for Give Me Sport, Talk Sport, he does some other stuff as well. Intelligent chap, seemingly well has well-sourced information. Now, caveat, let's be real, well-sourced information is almost certainly intentionally briefed information. Now, I don't want to be cynical, but this is the real world we live in, boys, girls, ladies and gentlemen. And he was talking about the model, Chelsea, teething issues, coming good in the end, etc., etc. And he said this, and this is pretty wild, and understandably has created a big reaction within the Chelsea fan base. He said this: senior sources at Liverpool and Arsenal, so first and second in the Premier League respectively, who are, I know Arsenal have fallen off, but doing well, inverted commas, and other clubs, so not just the top two, other clubs as well, they believe Chelsea's model is going to work, and they fear Chelsea's ambition. Right, should I open this up a little bit? Now, even if this was true, yeah, I don't think it would be believe Chelsea's model is going to work and fear Chelsea's ambition. I'd remove that and I'd consolidate that to sources at Liverpool, Arsenal, and other clubs fear that the model is going to work. That's the most I'll give it, literally, and that's scraping the barrel here, because I guess in theory, if Chelsea's long-term planning and model works, it means the fruition of players and success will be coming in, and sort of there'll be a consistency to it in the long term, rather than, riding the crest of a wave of certain good teams. That's the most I can give it, bro, because we've been here for a while, and yes, the people who believe in the project, which is, let's be real, it's waning, they would suggest that the fruition, the dividends being paid with this was never going to be instantaneous, and it might take long, it might get worse before it gets better, yada, yada, yada. But we've sort of 3 years in, I don't know, man. I mean, again, I've been very firm on my position. I do like elements of what they've done, incentive-based contracts. I think it's actually quite creative and positive to find loopholes in financial restriction systems. I think that's people at your football club doing their job well. Genuinely believe that. And I like, the fact how we signed Cole Palmer for 40 million. I think Esteval is really exciting. I think Andre Santos is exciting. Kendry Paez. I do like how they splashed the cash on a couple of, high-profile midfielders. I do think the likes of, Noni and Nico, even if they're not long-term Chelsea starters if and when we're good again, they will still represent good signings that will make money. Even we would have doubled, tripled our money on Vega by the time he goes. There are good elements, but of course Chelsea fans care about winning, rightly so. And no matter how much good faith you give, that time runs out, and I feel like it's running out and run out for most, which again, it's really important, guys, that I totally understand and respect that. I've been friggin' really down in the dumps of late. I am not enjoying my club going through this, hence me doing that video yesterday, really trying to assert my human Chelsea fan perspective, and how long I've been doing this, and being a Chelsea fan since a child because of my old man, this, that, and the other. Not some kid who jumped on the YouTube hype. I've had careers in different industries. I'm, closer to 40 than I am 30. So, yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to remind people that I'm just like you. But this is a radical statement from Ben Jacobs that was really, really received rather negatively, that it just sounds like more briefing. We don't want to hear it, and it doesn't mean anything while Chelsea are losing. It's all theory, it's all talk, and talk, ladies and gentlemen, is cheap. Right, so in a moment we will get into the squad building, of course, which will be interesting due to the recent formation change, should we keep that up. But a little thing as well, Chelsea, of course, are massively in need of a striker. We're looking for a striker in the summer. If we qualify for Champions League, maybe that striker will be Gyökeres or Osimhen. But Chelsea have been scouting young Liam Delap. Of course, they lost to Tottenham recently. Only Chelsea that don't beat Ipswich, apparently. But Enzo Maresca is a big fan of Man City youth star. The Man City youth star, Liam Delap, who enjoyed a good time under the Chelsea manager. He scored 27 goals in 22 matches. Granted, that's under 23's football, but that's still That's still 27 goals in 22 matches. And that is a player who's still young. He's 20? He's 22. I guess he's recently turned 22. And he's shown he can score nice goals in the Premier League. And he's shown he can mix it in the Premier League of centre-backs. And, he was prolific goal scoring under Maresca. So I understand. And it does seem like Chelsea will be very, very interested. Apparently, it's not just Chelsea that want the young man. Arsenal really like him. Liverpool, obviously, they'll probably get rid of Nunez to Saudi. They really want him as well. Man United, both their young strikers seem very poor indeed. So Graham Bailey has been told that all these big boys want this player. And also Leipzig, Leverkusen and Frankfurt were all present at Portland Road to watch him, the scouts. So RB Leipzig obviously going to lose Benjamin Sesko probably in the summer, maybe to Chelsea, who knows. Bayer Leverkusen, is Boniface gone yet? And Frankfurt of course lost Omar Marmoush to Man City. So this kid apparently is really, really highly valued. Apparently you can get him for around 40 million quid. 4-0. Man City have a 20% sell-on clause as well. So you'll be giving them a little bit of money, but you just got to stomach that. Again, my position is pretty consistent on Liam Delap. I quite like him. I think him and Jackson would probably be quite good two options. If you've sorted out all the other problems like goalkeeper, bit more midfield reinforcement, a senior geezer at the back, left back cover, and then, your striker option, Nkunku's gone because I'm just so done with Nkunku personally. As a big fan of him as a footballer in isolation, I'm so done with him at Chelsea. But, two young, up-and-coming good strikers that could push each other better in Delap and Jackson. Genuinely, I think that would be pretty good. So let's build a lineup, eh? This will be fun. Of course, we are playing Southampton at home. Southampton are awful. No excuses. You have to win. But in the fragility of the mentality of this Chelsea team, of course, Leslie Lugachuk can't play because he's on loan from us. We should absolutely win this game. Jorgensen, despite turning into an effing hologram in the last game, I expect him to stay, especially from Enzo Maresca's words. Now, this is going to be tough, bro. Well, it's not going to be that tough, actually. It's going to be Cole on the left because it will be him. Chalobah is going to be out for about 10 days, so Tosin will keep his place at centre-back. That will create our centre-back partnership. Now, players can play twice a week, especially when they were getting a lot of rest earlier in the season because of the B team in the Conference League. So other players should be able to keep playing. Cucurella is absolutely the man to come in for left-back. Gusto, I think generally he looks more comfortable playing a conventional right-back role like he did against Villa. He did make a mistake for one of the goals, a terrible touch, but he should learn. I have a feeling he will settle into the role a little bit better. I can see him continuing his work there. Similarly, the only man for the job at the base of midfield is Moises Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez played really well, actually, you have to say. In the game against Villa, of course, scoring the goal, nearly scored another lovely goal, had a good chance after that as well, looked crestfallen when we lost, and actually I feel like he can hold his head up high, pretty darn high. Now, Reece James in that number 8 role didn't have to run that much, his passes were good. I have a feeling if he did more training there, playing against a team, at home at Stamford Bridge, fans singing his name, at least maybe 60 minutes, and then if we are, God forbid, oh my God, winning by 2 or 3 goals. Imagine against Southampton, Reece James could come off at, say, a 60-minute mark. So I am going to put James in there, Reece James. Let's see if we can find him. Stick Lauren James in there. Where's Reece? There he is. And I think, he'll get that role again. Similarly, Neto. I think Pedro Neto will play as a striker again because he was praised by the manager, Maresca, for his performance there, saying it could be a good option in the absence of strikers. Certainly better than friggin' Nkunku or false 9 Palmer. Speaking of Palmer, he'll have to play out on the right wing again. He looks frustrated. He was throwing his arms up at Christopher Nkunku a bunch of times, but he still played alright. 2 key passes, had a couple of shots on goal. And more to his credit, he won. If you looked at my match review, he won loads of ground duels, so he was doing his work. as a winger. He was supporting Gusto and James, but that's a lot of talent down that right-hand side, and that's a lot of diversity in profile. It really is. It really, really is. So on that, I feel that will stay the same. The only change for me, guys, and I'm going to say it, of course, Sancho came in, wasn't awful. I do believe in Sancho's talent, but it's home. It's against 20th place. He hasn't done anything wrong. I think Tyreek George gets a start here in his preferred position. And then, of course, Sancho can come off the bench. And then you can make changes. That is my starting lineup for Chelsea versus Southampton at home in the Premier League. The same formation, a conventional 4-3-3, a bit more balance in the midfield. Jorgensen hopefully not turning into a hologram. This time, Palmer playing balls. Hopefully, George can go to them and not do what Nkunku does. This isn't an Nkunku hit piece. I thought he was serviceable in the first half, but he's a great footballer that doesn't fit this team, that doesn't fit this team's positions, that has no chemistry with his teammates, including Palmer, which is so important. If you're going to succeed in this Chelsea team as an attacker, you've got to link up with Palmer, and Nkunku simply cannot do it. Yeah, man. Oh, my giddy aunt. I think Southampton will score against us because, we turned into a brothel at the back. Everyone can score. So I will say, I'm going to say a Chelsea win because Southampton are friggin' dismal, bro. I'm going to say Chelsea 3, Southampton 1, much needed win. Hopefully we can beat Leicester afterwards. Hopefully they'll put us comfortably back into the top 5 and we can find form and then players come back from injury. We beat Copenhagen as well. Of course, that's in between. There's a chance here, yeah? If you got some, excuse my French, bollocks on you boys, show them now. Not literally, but, metaphorically on the pitch. Do it. Show that you can freaking do it. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Thank you as always for joining me. Thank you for supporting the content as always. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Why not share? If you do want to check out Stocks FC, I do recommend it. It's a bit of fun and it can take your mind off Chelsea pain. Remember, you can just scan this QR code here on your phone on the screen, or you can click the link in the video description to check it out. All right, friends, I'll see you very soon, hopefully. Peace.